number 2 for the Sky. Welcoming earlier for at least a little bit of this game. Our starting lineup is presented by Nafisa Collier, and off we go. Minnesota's first game since that heartbreaking Game 5 WNBA Finals loss in an epic series against New York. Their defense, you can see it even in the preseason. It's tight. Good pass from Vandersloot to Cardoso to get the scoring rolling.
And that's what I want to see more of. This is last season you just didn't have the guards who were able to create off the pick and roll like that. But to get Kamilla Cardoso involved in pick and roll offense, that's going to bode well for the Sky this year.
Rare miscommunication there. Now Atkins again with a Vandersloot. If you haven't seen this 5 yet for the Sky, they're going to roll that. Alana Smith, the former Chicago Sky, got the deflection there. And now Heidemann back to Smith down low. Pretty pass and pretty finish for Smith.
That's why Alana Smith is sneaky good. She's listed at EIM about heights, Jason. But that's what she's able to do so well, is just get behind the back line of defenses. She's sneaky good.
She's definitely found her best fit in Minnesota. Sky fans loved her when she was here. Matched up against Cardoso down low. Friendly roll there for Cardoso, getting the bucket.
You really saw Kamilla jump hook over her left shoulder. I like this from Kamilla Cardoso.
Williams, the mid-range queen, couldn't knock it down. Atkins happened the other way. And Cardoso talked about that after the win over Brazil the other day, being utilized in different ways. The ball movement was evident in that game. It's evident again today. 4 players have touched the ball. Doesn't quite lead to a bucket. Back comes Courtney Williams. She and Heidemann both joined this Minnesota roster last season. Collier's first jumper off the mark. Nafisa Collier coming off a special season, to say the least, trying to carry that momentum into this year for the Lynx. Vandersloot looking for 3. Collier the board.
You talk about Nafisa Collier, as Alana Smith again gets behind the Sky defense for an easy bucket in transition. But Nafisa Collier, defensive player, and then she carries that over to her own league, the Unrivaled League, where she's MVP of that league as well.
Nurse in the corner, hit 3 triples on Friday against Brazil, couldn't knock it down there. Courtney Williams hit some big shots in WNBA Finals a season ago. So did Collier. Of course, several players out there from Minnesota right now that had career years. Collier 0 for 2 to begin. Atkins likes what she sees. Came up short. Angel Reese there to clean it up.
So many offensive rebounds came in transition off plays just like that. It's really hard to box someone out in transition.
She averaged 17 rebounds a game in the 2 games the Sky and the Lynx played against each other where she was healthy last year. The Sky clearly looking to run, clearly looking to put the 3s up. Reese had positioning. Yeah, Heidemann taps it away. Look at that last Angel Reese bucket.
It's 3 in transition, because you know that you have a great chance to get that offensive rebound.
Alana Smith seems to finish back most games with a bump and a bruise or 2. She goes down on the baseline there, got the steal. Limping back into the play as Collier couldn't hit the 3. Ariel Atkins, Angel Reese, Courtney Vandersloot, Kamilla Cardoso, Kia Nurse, the 5 on the floor for the Sky. Vandersloot on the pull-up, familiar with these rims.
She's familiar with these rims, but we're all familiar with her game, especially using the pick and roll. We've seen her hit Kamilla Cardoso as a roller, but she can also use that ball screen for herself.
Atkins with the steal, lead feed for Reese. Little clutch at the rim, couldn't finish around Courtney Williams, who got back. But Vandersloot right there to snatch it away. She does get around Williams. What a pass over to Reese, and a foul. Angel Reese has talked about already Courtney Vandersloot making her life a lot easier. Magellan. Lynx off to a slow start from the field. Carlton coming off a career season, shot 44% from 3 last year. Down to Collier, who does draw a foul.
Nafisa Collier takes advantage of the mismatch.
Collier averaged 20 points per game last year, 9 rebounds. University fee was so good. She and Angel Reese, as we mentioned, had some good battles last year.
I like that.
Playoff fee. long ways away, but Minnesota, their mindset is on avenging their WNBA Finals loss from last year. Vandersloot, late time, it was beautiful. Cardoso couldn't finish underneath. I can see you smiling, Jimmy. That's what is back in Chi-Town, the deceptiveness. And Collier able to finish through traffic.
Well, it's just such.
It was.
Camilla just leaves that a little bit higher, and that's 2 points.
Between her and Atkins, we could be dropping some dimes this year here to Wintrust. So patient. Good idea to tap to the corner. Atkins, oh, not sure how she hit that, but she did.
That was so smooth and just so efficient. She didn't have to do a lot to create that. Just a simple little jab move, create a little bit of separation, get the defender to pause, and then knock it down.
Heidemann, nice in and out dribble, ran into the nurse. Good tap away. Smith came away with it, always in the thick of traffic. Alana Smith couldn't finish, tumbling to the deck, and Cardoso the board. Now back comes Atkins. Vandersloot's at the rim. Atkins pass to Nurse, open three.
Shooting threats on this team right now for Chicago. It's not only gonna create opportunities to knock down more threes, that's a given, but what it's also gonna do is space the floor for driving lanes as well. You have to respect the three-point shooters on this team.
Cardoso will get a block added to her stat sheet there. Carlson couldn't hit. Elizabeth Williams and Rebecca Allen getting set to check in for the Sky. Carly Samuelson and Alyssa Peely ready to come in for Minnesota. Our first substitute.
Last season.
A little shout out on that mic'd up as well to Ann Crosby, Chicago Sky trainer, 20 years with the team now. Sneaking into Magellan mic'd up, as she should.
I can't imagine this franchise without Ann Crosby. She does a little bit of everything.
Atkins with 2 to shoot, has already hit one tough one. Tough rebound down low. That was wnbahighlightstoday who snagged it, led to a 3 from Vandersloot.
Again, three-point threats all around the arc for Chicago this season. And Michaela Onyenwere, she comes in, oh my goodness, Jason, she comes in right away and makes her impact. No.
Beck Allen thought that was clean. Instead, Samuelson left. Over at the scores table, see Haley Van Lith getting set to check in along with.
Yeah, you think this fan base is
They're hyped up for her.
Excited?
They're excited. Coming off a really good preseason debut, her Wintrust debut on the home floor. Samuelson got space, had to double clutch though, made the shot tough. Then a tie-up on that rebound that took a while for the tie-up to eventually happen. Between future ahead for Haley Van Lith, just getting underway. Second quarter, Chicago up 24-11. Courtney Williams, veteran guard, former Chicago Sky. This fan base loved her during her 1 year here and has fit in so well in Minnesota. Badan with the bucket down low. She checks in for the first time. The 30-year-old rookie out of France. Remember a couple of years ago, the Sky had a 30-year-old rookie in Rebecca Gardner. A lot of overseas experience for Badan, but first year in the WNBA.
The Lynx is that rare team. They have a 30-year-old rookie and they have a 20-year-old rookie.
Exactly. They run the range of making excellent offseason moves. Heidemann on a bullet pass. Able to finger roll that home. Grace Berger in as well now for Indiana Hoosier. Reese and Van Lith operating around one another. Reese goes to work, started out high, tried to finish down low. This Minnesota team can run. Williams, the speed, that's her shot, loves the mid-range. It was a 67-62 overtime loss for Minnesota against New York in Game 5 of the finals last year after a phenomenal. Berger drew a foul.
And shoot the 3, but
the not so lost art.
Right.
Peely connects from 3. That's also kind of an underrated aspect of her game.
Well, and she's made herself. She's self-made three-point shooter. Her first 3 years at USC in college, she made 35 total threes.
Trying to catch up to that. Berger couldn't get there. Atkins, Vandersloot back out with each other. Saw a good chunk. Wnbahighlights playing good minutes. She played so many good minutes down the final 15-20 games last year for the Sky. Nice pass. Despite that not going in, you just see the freedom of these bigs to work with Vandersloot as Badan goes up and under, and Minnesota really likes what they're going to potentially get with her.
A tremendous size advantage, Cardoso versus Peely, and just wasn't able to convert on that last possession.
A few days for Angel Reese. Also want to give a birthday shout out to our amazing stage manager, Karen Higgins. Big birthday for her as well. We had a cupcake party before the game. There's a pick and roll party going on the floor.
I love it. We go back to pick and roll, just back to the foundation, how we began this game. And I love the screen by Cardoso. It was a very legal screen, but she definitely laid Courtney Williams out, and I love it.
Berger, catch and shoot. Berger trying to make this Minnesota roster. Had time with Indiana last year, got back, nearly had the steal. Nurse back on the floor for the Sky, which is how the game started with this lineup. Minnesota's cut the lead to 4, though. It was double digits.
I like her exerting her will and then using that momentum to finish at the rim.
Working through contact in traffic, cutting across the lane there for the bucket.
I'm seeing a Camila Cardoso so far in this game, Jason. Like, she's not afraid to use her physicality. She's finishing through contact. She's leaving it high.
No rebounds per game there. Shot 64% from the field. Berger again, stopping and popping. Pretty shot from Grace Berger.
That was really nice. Cheryl Reeve is very high on Grace Berger. She said that she has a really good understanding and feel for the game. I thought she was very well coached at Indiana under Terry Morin, and she just never really fit into what
has helped cut the Sky lead to 4 for Minnesota. Peely got strips. Oh, Reese thought it was clean, and the rest of the Wintrust Arena thought it was clean too.
My emotions, I just experienced the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows.
Now you're back up. They call those cookies in Baltimore, by the way, on the strip. Playground, it would have counted. This one does count down low for Cardoso. Peely turns the corner, kicks it out. Badan came up short.
A defensive play by Angel Reese. I mean, Peely was going downhill. She's physical. She's definitely got the strength to muscle that to the rim. That's a great job by Angel to stop her momentum.
The quick ball feed right back down low to Cardoso. Goes to work once again. Just can't overstate what Vandersloot is doing to get this offense. How comforting is that as a big? You know you run, you know you do your job. This point guard is going to find you. This Hall of Fame point guard is going to find you.
There's nothing worse floor and we don't get the ball. At some point, it kind of makes you say, well, hey, why do I keep running for if you're not going to pass me the ball? Courtney will pass you the ball.
She's going to pass you the ball. The Sky's all-time leader in assists and assists per game. Back in the Sky uniform after a couple of seasons in the Big Apple. But then tried to call glass from the 3. Alana Smith back in down low. Out to Williams, the trigger strong. Vandersloot looks up. Just fun to watch her handle the ball. Over to Atkins. Couldn't hit. Cardoso, big rebound. And you're going to earn extra possessions for Vandersloot to go right back to work as well. And if you keep giving her extra possessions, she's just going to do that.
Everything. Courtney Vandersloot gets the defensive rebound. The first thing she does is look up.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois through it all. Same 5s back out there. Been competitive and fun seeing how much we've been able to see some of the projected starters for both of these teams when the regular season rolls around. No Kayla McBride today for Minnesota. That's for Lynx fans if you're tuning in wondering where Kayla McBride is. Just a phenomenal, maybe underrated career for her. Double figures every year for over a decade straight now. Courtney Williams working down low. But Dan, we are seeing a look at what she could be in this Minnesota offense, drawing another foul.
Courtney Williams is an anomaly to me. I mean, she led their...
The Village of Bedford Park is proud to be an official economic development partner of the Chicago Sky. Visit Village of Bedford and Courtney Williams. Of course, she was loved here in Chicago. Kind of had to play point guard here. Then she goes off the ball, Minnesota, more fluid down the road. Do you see that kind of flexibility for her? Maybe a similar Courtney Williams type role?
I do. I think that's a really good comparison as far as both of their abilities to play on the ball or off the ball. Courtney Vandersloot is a true point guard. She's at her best with the ball in her hands. Whereas Haley Van Lith, she doesn't need the ball in her hands. In fact, she's really good of giving the ball up and then getting it back for a shot later. She's really good at starting an offense and finishing the offense.
Just finished it right there, right on cue. 5-point game. Atkins on the catch and shoot. Well off the mark. But that is something she's going to bring to this Sky offense. Alana Smith running and finishing.
Alana Smith is really the 5 in this offense, even though she's really not a 5, but she's matched up defensively and offensively versus opponents' 5s. She can outrun virtually any big in this league.
But Dan with the block, Reese with the follow-up.
So I'm seeing some of that versatility that Coach Marsh was talking about, what he wanted to see out of Camilla and Angel. Not just back-to-basket players, but taking the opponents off the bounce, finishing at the pick and roll.
There's been an ease about it too, like it's so instilled in their mindset. This as well, Angel Reese bringing the ball up the floor. An expansion of what we'll see, a pirouette in the paint and the finish from Angel Reese. It was pretty.
Coach Marsh doesn't want to put his players in a box. He wants them to be multi-dimensional. And hey, if leading the break, taking it coast to coast and making a ballerina move to finish is part of that dimension, if that's a dimension.
Most importantly, the WNBA is back, and we are having a blast watching it.
We are so back.
So back. A back cut and a pretty finish underneath the rim from Bridget Carlton.
Almost as if it was scripted.
Almost as if there was like some sort of script going on here.
It's like a softball and you crushed it.
This league is a movie.
I would like to see this guy get Kia Nurse going again early in this third quarter.
She's going to have to shoot it here. Got it off in time. Oh, she didn't get it off in time. Or was there a call? No, there's a shot clock violation. Heidemann went down pretty hard. From our angle, it almost looked like Nurse at least got it.
I do. She was very quiet. She took three shots in the first half, and she was someone who just really elevated the Sky's three-point shooting against Brazil.
Reese running, couldn't finish. Saw a good chunk of her in the first preseason game and in the opening half today. Pushing the break. Collier, speaking of getting up and down the floor, and one for Nafisa Collier.
Okay, so if we're breaking this down, what the shot on the previous end? Angel tried to initiate the contact. She went off of 1 foot, then missed the layup. That's where Angel will continue to grow. And we saw a little bit of it against Brazil. I did see her go off 2 feet, play more balanced against Brazil than I had all of last summer.
Just seeing the evolution of Cardoso and Reese, going to be fun to watch. The Sky's 2 draft picks from last season in the first rounds, now in year 2. Back in front of this Skytown crowd. Bridget Carlton got some space, knocked him down at a 44% clip a season ago. Hits one there.
Right away, what I'm noticing from Minnesota coming out of the locker room is they're really trying to backdoor Chicago. Chicago did an excellent job of pressuring on the perimeter in the first half, forced a lot of turnovers, and that's the adjustment that Minnesota's made.
Lynx trailed by double digits. Collier, really good defensive play, slapped it off the foot of Reese.
Yeah, Courtney Vandersloot, she's mad at herself on that one. She left it a little short.
Courtney on Courtney matchup here. Vandersloot against Williams. And now Williams straight into a triple. Strong. Cardoso the rebound, able to fend off Smith. Kia Nurse, one of the new additions to this Sky team, came up short. Williams just gets this Minnesota offense ignited so quickly. Heidemann in the starting spot of McBride, who's resting. Good ball movement. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Collier will take it, lost it, over to Smith. She'll fade, couldn't get that to drop.
The uniform touched the ball in that possession, Jason.
About as pretty of a possession as you could find without a bucket at the end. Carlton with the deflection. And first head coach of the Sky in his first year after a couple of seasons as an assistant with the Aces. Talked about the respect he has for Cheryl Reeve and what this Minnesota Lynx franchise has done as players go tumbling down into the lane. Says he wants to hopefully emulate that. Defense a heavy focus in training camp for the Sky. It always is for the Lynx under Coach Reeve, and the offense followed last year. As Jimmy mentioned, some of the team significantly improved offensively overall from the prior year, and they will lock down on this end. Some contact in the paint. It's going to go back the opposite way on the offensive foul. Collier popped out. Smith, the O board, jarred loose by Vandersloot. Sky's all-time leader in steals and all-time leader in assists and several other things. Will now get the offense rolling here. Hooks it back to Reese, spins the paint. Another beautiful finish from Angel Reese on her birthday.
Well, that green that Angel set for Courtney Vandersloot, her screen was so good.
Reese gets a breather. Haley Van Lith, Elizabeth Williams, Michaela Onyenwede all check in for the Sky. Trap in the corner. Smith from three. Nurse the rebound, and she gets fouled. The one thing that is kind of...
You're right, Jason. It came at the expense of her picking up a lot of fouls.
Atkins navigating. Oh, off one leg. Defense. 3-point lead for the Sky. 5 to play in this third quarter. Louder. That ball deflected. Collier fades and connects.
She has one of the prettiest fade-away jumpers that I've seen.
Adds something to her game like all the greats do each and every year.
Well, I mean, when you think about where she was her senior year at Connecticut, coming into the league, she was primarily a true post player, not a three-point shooter.
Speaking of threes, Ariel Atkins comes over to Chicago after leading the Mystics all time in three-pointers made. Let's see what she can bring to this offense. 397 career three-pointers with the Mystics. Her first year not in a Washington uniform. Now Van Lith with the task of guarding Williams. Fight for the rebounds.
Can roll heavy, ball screen heavy as Courtney Vandersloot. That's going to take some time. I mean, training camp just started a week ago.
Haley Van Lith off the mark on the three.
But when that connection starts to mature, Jason, watch out, because that is going to be a dynamic duo this summer.
Absolutely. Seen it with Cardoso. That trio really impressive in the opening, and the younger players so willing to listen.
And we already know that Angel Reese is a student of the game. I mean, she's notorious for picking the brains of great players like Nafisa Collier after each game when she plays against them.
Onyenwede with a strong finish at the rim.
And I know you love it too. I know she's one of your favorites to watch, Jason.
Absolutely. Alana Smith through contact the opposite way for the end one. Alana Smith got her own board off the free throw. You don't see that very often. And then finished. A lucrative Alana Smith possession.
Well, it's how she's carved out a role for herself in this league. And it's taken her a little bit to do that, Jason. I mean, she kind of was with teams and then got waived and then got picked up again for a few years before she was able to hang on with Chicago and then move on to Minnesota. But it's because she's willing to do all of the blue-collar work.
wnba, another player who does the blue-collar work, expanding that offensive game even more. Knocks down the three, has Chicago up 5, 2:37 to go in the third.
She didn't take a lot of threes last year, but 37%, she was very efficient.
Deflection from Rebecca Allen, long arms for her defensively. Banham perusing against Berger. Around a screen, floats it up, couldn't hit. Carlton the board. Sky did a good job of getting back on defense. Heidemann right at Van Lith, able to finish. It is like a flash coming at you with Natija Heidemann.
And that's what you have to do. If you are
Elizabeth Williams, Rachel Banham, Haley Van Lith, Michaela Onyenwede, and Beck Allen out on the floor for the Sky. 30-year-old rookie from France, Carly Samuelson and Alyssa Peely, along with Courtney Williams, also on the floor for the Lynx. Jason Ross Jr., Shimmy Miller with you. Rebecca Allen, that jumper is so clean. $18 games with Phoenix last year for Beck Allen before suffering the hamstring injury that hampered her season.
I am really surprised that Courtney Williams is still out there for Minnesota. She's already played over 23 minutes. In fact, 5 Minnesota players have played over 20 minutes.
Westbeld check in for the Sky. 2 players trying to make the roster, so a big quarter for both of them.
Chicago, I can't hear you. A little louder.
Allen turns the corner, tried to kick it out. Courtney Williams with the steal. And you know, every minute she's out there, she's going to give you 100% effort. Dishes it ahead to Carly Samuelson.
And I think Rebecca Allen just over-penetrated there. There's an art to the punch and kick game.
Richardson, around and out. Nice rebound from Westbeld. And here's the versatility of her game, the rookie out of Notre Dame.
Well, she grabs a great defensive rebound, rips it out of her hand, and then again leads the break like we saw Angel do earlier.
Good pass from Wilson to Williams down low. Quick 5-0 spurt for the Sky to begin the quarter. Richardson blocked by Beck Allen. The save from Banham. Three goes down for Rachel Banham.
And of all the things that we've seen
in Chicago, visit sky.wnba.com/community for more information on how you can support today. Catch and shoot for Samuelson into the hands of Wilson. Strong rebound.
Rookie.
Yep.
Allie's a 31-year-old rookie, but she's made an absolute incredible career in Australia basketball. In fact, former league MVP.
Samuelson hitting the deck, ripped away though by Banham, who hit the 3 on the last possession. This possession, Beck Allen tries to knock it down, came up short. Here's the 30-year-old rookie Badan, and now Williams. Peely knocked one down earlier. There's her second. Get it back to a 5-point game.
It's what I've seen from Alyssa Peely so far, Jason. To carve out some opportunity for her on this roster.
Onyenwede floating it up, tapped out. Westbeld some good hustle in the corner to keep the possession alive. We'll see her ability to dribble out on the perimeter. 5 to shoot for Wilson. Steps back. Tough shot. Courtney Williams now pushing the opposite way. Drop it off. Richardson again trying to make the Minnesota roster. Couldn't connect. Got a foul called. It's going. Jessica Carter has checked in for the Sky. First time seeing Jessica today. The 3-time All-SEC player at Mississippi State. Has had a really good training camp. Played a couple of games for the Aces last year. Trying to make the Sky roster. Allen on the kick out. Wilson on the drive. Tried to squeeze it through a crevice of traffic there
pass from 2 feet away to a big.
I can't hear you. A little louder.
Williams leading floater, got it to go around and down. Back to a 3-point game.
Grace Berger running the point right now. This is what Cheryl Reeve talked about. Grace Berger actually played the one with her European team this offseason. So her being
Today on both ends. Running that point spot right now for Minnesota and gets aggressive and finishes through traffic.
and we
Bucket for the birthday girl. We got a tight one, 62-62, 5:28 to go in this fourth quarter.
I can't hear you.
Haley Van Lith against Berger, up and under, couldn't finish, went down, and now the Lynx operate the opposite way. Wnbahighlightstoday went down, got clipped on a screen, no call. Zip pass inside. And good sportsmanship there. As
Player of the Year season over in Russia. I think this last 5 minutes will be as competitive as we've seen at any point in the game, because everyone on the court right now is either trying to make a roster or trying to carve out some space on a roster.
absolutely. Big minutes for all the players on the floor right now. In a close game, too. Carter got the switch on the screen. 7 to shoot. Van Lith sticking stride for stride with Berger. Kosu the rebound. Shovels it out. Samuelson couldn't hit.
I really am impressed with Haley Van Lith, and this goes back to the game versus Brazil for me. Just her willingness to guard her player one-on-one, to just get in their face, be physical. And she's gotten beat a couple times. Natisha Heidemann beat her a couple times, but she's right back out there.
Birch kept working, ultimately drew a foul. Like you said, to piggyback off your point on Haley roster, her second stint in a Sky uniform. At the line, Metra is proud to be the... Birch ties the game. Played 28 games with the Sky, stints with Phoenix and Dallas last year. Wilson was fighting around the screen, sticking with Richardson. Kosu hands off to Berger. Carter jumped out. Berger, good fake, good drive. And that went last off of Berger, so it's going back to the Sky. This upcoming season, right now, though, in these moments, like Jimmy said, possibly roster decisions being made on both sides. Big moments for several players trying to make their respective teams. Birch and Carter, two of those players. Carter couldn't hit. Rebound for Samuelson. And a timeout called by Minnesota. With 3-6.
Katie Smith left to go back to the college ranks, but what Cheryl Reeve does is she brings in Lindsay Whalen, she brings in Eric Thibault, two former head coaches at different levels on her form herself as a player, and her championship experience that she brings, that Eric Thibault brings from the Mystics. What a great job by Cheryl Reeve in the offseason.
Healy got called for the offensive foul. Good charge taken by Van Lith.
About Lindsay and just how she relates to the players on the team.
With one of the goats of the game leading the helm, and Cheryl Reeve. 7 seconds on the shot clock. 2:40 to go in the fourth. Tie game. Wilson, tough drive. What a rebound from Carter.
It's there's a lot of handsiness
Physicality.
going on right now.
This time a bit of a cleaner rebound. Peely hauls it in. 2:20 to go. Berger. Peely, 3. Got it, her third.
So confident. She's like, look, give me Maisha Hines-Allen's minutes. I will take them.
Pretty pass opposite way from Van Lith to Carter.
Louder!
The defense from Van Lith this time. Turnover. Credit Haley Van Lith for that.
On the defensive end, she is not backing down.
She loves the physicality of the game and really wanted to embrace that defensively. We're seeing it in just her second preseason game, commanding the offense with 7 to shoot. The in and out dribble. Oh! Haley Van Lith gives the Sky the lead. 1:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Richardson for the lead, off the mark. Rebound down low. Gosu blocked by Carter. Westbeld grabs it back. Sky up 2. Van Lith once more. Cross-court feed. Wilson got it! A Sky run inside of the final minute. Doesn't feel like preseason. Berger. Off iron, battle for the board. Players go tumbling. 8-0 run for the Sky in 55 seconds to take this 5.
Player of the year because of what she did on the offensive end at TCU, but Jason, I'm just so impressed with how she's taking ownership of her defense and showing that I am more than just a scorer.
Half a minute to go. Van Lith with the ball, had the big 3 over to Birch. Tap back is good. These teams will play again on Saturday. Kosu the rebound. Kosu the slip to the rim and the bucket. Minnesota not fouling here.
There has to be cuts made, and they're probably.
But you could feel how hard all these players that played these final few minutes were going out there because of that reason, trying to.
They're shooting a lot of threes. They're trying to score early and often, and they are really pressuring on the perimeter on the defensive end.
Gotta love the energy down the stretch. The first half, the dimes from